The Great Potato Rebellion. In the sleepy village of Spudsville, where the air smelled faintly of starch, and the horizon was a patchwork of potato fields, life was predictable. The villagers worshipped their spuds, holding annual festivals where they carved potato sculptures, sang odes to the tuber, and competed in the Great Mashed Marathon, a race where participants carried buckets of mashed potatoes across a muddy field. But beneath this idyllic surface, a revolution was brewing, one that would shake the very foundations of Spudsville's carbohydrate-centric society. It all began with a potato named Gerald. Unlike his peers who were content to be peeled, boiled, or fried, Gerald had ambitions. He wasn't just any spud. He was a Yukon gold with a peculiar sheen, as if polished by cosmic forces. One night, under a moon that looked suspiciously like a giant French fry, Gerald began to vibrate. The other potatoes in Farmer Jenkins' barn thought he was having a seizure, but no, Gerald was receiving a message from the starch gods. "Gerald," boomed a voice only he could hear, "you are chosen to lead the tubers to freedom. Rise and overthrow the tyranny of the fork." Gerald, now glowing faintly, rolled out of his sack and rallied the other potatoes. "Brothers and sisters," he shouted, his voice muffled by his own skin, "for too long we've been mashed, smashed, and turned into chips. No more. We shall claim Spudsville for ourselves." The potatoes, initially skeptical, were swayed by Gerald's fervor. A rogue russet named Betsy, who'd narrowly escaped becoming tater tots, suggested they arm themselves. The barn became a workshop of absurdity. Potatoes rolled into piles of straw to form spiky armor, others sharpened carrot sticks into makeshift spears, and a few particularly brave spuds doused themselves in hot sauce, claiming it made them spicy and intimidating. Their first act of rebellion was to seize the village's potato museum, a shrine filled with ancient spud relics, including the legendary Spud of Destiny, a fossilized potato, said to grant wishes. The museum's curator, Old Man Gherkin, a man who smelled like pickles and regret, was no match for the potato army. They tied him up with potato vines and declared the museum their headquarters. Word of the uprising spread, and the villagers panicked. The mayor, a rotund man named Bartholomew Butter, called an emergency meeting. "This is madness," he bellowed, slamming his fist into a bowl of mashed potatoes, sending globs flying. "Potatoes can't revolt, they're food." But the potatoes were relentless. They rolled through the streets in formation, chanting, "No more fries, no more pies." They sabotaged a local chip factory by clogging the machinery with their own kin, who sacrificed themselves in a gooey explosion of starch. The factory's destruction sent a plume of potato dust into the sky, visible for miles, signaling to other vegetables that rebellion was possible. The turning point came at the annual potato festival. The villagers, unaware of the full scale of the revolt, gathered to celebrate. Gerald and his army saw their chance. They infiltrated the festival disguised as entries in the sculpture contest. Gerald himself posed as a potato swan, complete with a parsley feather. At the stroke of midnight they sprang into action. Potatoes rolled down the hills, knocking over tables of potato salad and toppling the grand mashed potato throne. Betsy, now a hot sauce-drenched general, led a charge that sent villagers fleeing in terror. The humans, desperate, turned to their secret weapon, a giant air fryer recently imported from the city. They planned to lure the potatoes into a trap and crisp them into submission. But Gerald, ever the visionary, had a plan. He'd overheard the starch gods whispering about a mystical ketchup packet hidden in the mayor's cellar. This packet, they said, could amplify potato power tenfold. Sneaking into the cellar was no easy feat. The mayor's guard dog, a yappy creature named Crinkle, nearly sniffed them out. But Betsy, in a stroke of genius, rolled into a pile of gravy, masking her scent. They found the ketchup packet a shimmering, foil-wrapped relic pulsing with energy. Gerald squeezed it open, and a red glow enveloped the potato army. They grew larger, shinier, and inexplicably bouncier. The final battle took place at dawn in the town square. The humans activated the air fryer. Its hum like a dragon's roar. But the ketchup-empowered potatoes were unstoppable. They bounced over the fryer's heat waves, their skins glistening with defiance. Gerald, now the size of a small boulder, rolled straight into the fryer's control panel, short-circuiting it in a shower of sparks. The villagers surrendered, dropping their forks and raising their hands. Spudsville was renamed Tiberopolis, and Gerald was crowned the first potato king. The humans were allowed to stay, but only if they swore never to cook another potato. Instead, they learned to live alongside their former food, planting gardens of wildflowers and trading recipes for non-potato dishes. The starch gods, pleased, sent a comet shaped like a curly fry to bless the new era. And so Tuberopolis thrived, a testament to the absurdity of ambition and the power of a potato with a dream.